I am Doomsvince, and this is day 84 of Spawn Year.
There's nothing like a good mystery. That feeling you get when you're blindsided by an incredibly well-plotted story that hits you with a revelation you never would have discovered on your own, but was staring you right in the face all along. And this is nothing like that. The cover of issue 61 depicts four faces beneath Spawn holding an obscenely gigantic gun, illustrating that Spawn wants now, more than anything else, to eliminate everyone who has manipulated the course of his existence. Before I opened the comic, this is what I knew about those faces. Jason Wynn ordered Al's death. Chapel carried out that order, at least that's what we thought before last issue. Clown was assigned by Bulgy to facilitate Spawn's transition into a soldier for Hell on Earth, not that he's ever remotely done that. And the woman on the right, who is that woman on the right? By the end of this issue, all of that is suddenly wrong. Up is down, right is left, tacos or hamburgers. Clown comes to Spawn in a dream. Hey, that's bound to happen when you put the decaying head of the last guy you mutilated on a stick right in front of your easy chair and you stare at it until you fall asleep. Clown tells Spawn that neither Wynn or Chapel had anything to do with Spawn's death, and that hell isn't after him, it's after Wanda. Wanda? We control her as we control you, as we will someday control Wanda. She's what hell's after, and you're leading us to her. So Bulgy schemed to have Al killed so Al could become Spawn, wander around the Earth while Bulgy messed with his head. God calls Al the One. Clown sets an incomprehensible plot in motion to prove he's better than Spawn to Bulgy, and Spawn's just some link in the chain? Even while Bulgy goes on and on somewhere in time about how special he is? Good mysteries blow my mind. This blows my mind up. Just forget the whole Wanda thing for a moment. Al's murder. Clown says Bulgy implanted false memories in his head to keep him off balance. So that means that whole Adam West Batman clue with the Chapel Spawn was drawn to, indicating Chapel is the name of his murderer, was really just a red herring. I guess so Spawn would run off and kill people who didn't deserve it to make him more evil? Maybe? I have a feeling the next few sentences will be statements followed by question marks. So despite Chapel calling Al a traitor and his clearly remembering killing Al, he didn't kill Al? And even after it's implied that Wynn conspired with Hell to have Al killed so he'd become Spawn, even though he seems to think he had Al killed, he didn't? That's ridiculous? I mean, that's ridiculous! This is not a cleverly planned out, carefully considered chain of events that we and Spawn think evolved one way, actually evolved another way, but all the pieces fit together. This is nonsense masquerading as a tapestry. Yeah, tapestry. So another piece of Spawn's unholy tapestry is woven, and hidden within its design. Hold on. Stop right there. Design? Spawn is a series of afterthoughts camouflaged as story points, and this is the mother of all retcons. McFarlane didn't want Chapel to be Spawn's murderer anymore, probably because Chapel isn't his property or a character he created, so he changed it. Just like Psychoplasm and Redeemer's name and the ending of Blood Feud. It wasn't that way all along, but we were just misdirected. He changed it, and hoped we'd be stupid enough or forgetful enough not only to buy it, but to be impressed by it. When we find out Voldemort is really Tom Riddle in Harry Potter, that's a satisfying reveal, because it's seeded. All the links are fashioned together, so when that last one gets put in, we've got a chain. What we have here are a bunch of chains that were started but never finished, as McFarlane abandoned one in favor of another and started over, but he's using the same materials, so they kinda look the same, unless you're paying any attention whatsoever. This would be like if we actually met the Jedi Obi-Wan claimed Palpatine killed Anakin Skywalker. He admitted to killing Anakin Skywalker, and Darth Vader still said, "Luke, I am your father." And I love how Spawn buys into this explanation of how he really died, killed by some random woman we don't even know if he's ever met, because Clown won't tell Spawn her name, just says, "I could give you a hint," when it's coming to him in a dream from a guy he thinks he just killed. Because that's so much more reliable than a flesh and blood man who says he killed you. Nothing else really happens this issue worth weighing in on. It's moving day for Spawn. Technocops found his last hideout and they took Sigor. By the way, I have no idea what happened to Major Forsberg. So he goes to some other part of the alley and his old bum friends follow him there, sent by Cagliostro, who's trying to help him retain a residue of humanity by having friends close, and they build him a new throne. I wish my friends built me a throne every time I moved. I wish I had a throne right now. There's a scene with Spawn and Grandma Blake, and as usual, I like that quite a bit. She reminds him that he can be a force for good because he saved Cyan. Wanda believes God had a hand in returning her child to safety. You're now a part of that. The idea that Wanda is terrified of the very force that saved both her husband back in 24 and her daughter now is good stuff, but it's spoiled for me by this laughable notion that Wanda is really who hell is after. If there was any shark left to jump, it's been jumped. Signed, Captain Logan.